Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A Drink with Crazy. What's going on, everybody? So I don't know if you saw the thumbnail, but my guest is going to be a little late, and that's fine. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer stream. But yes, Michael Bancroft, he's got a business thing that he's got to take care of. He let me know. And I was like, no, dude, it's totally fine. He was like, can you move the stream back? I was like, you know what? It's total. I was like, dude, I tell you what, you come in when you want to come in. I'm going to start the show normal time the way that I always do because I like to be consistent, but you come in whenever you want to. So Michael Bancroft will be here when he is done with his business engagements. How is everybody doing tonight? Oh my goodness, we got Eric Grant, we got Tim Allen, we got Liu, we got Mario Trujillo. Hey, when YouTube plays Spanish ads. Are they stereotyping you, Mario Trujillo? Remember, stereotyping is always bad unless we're trying to advertise to you. Then we're going to stereotype the fuck out of you. Oh, I love it. Oh, I have no show prep right now. I have absolutely none. I have no idea what we're going to talk about for the first hour of the show. Yeah, I got nothing. So I'll let you guys roll the dice on that. If you guys got something interesting that you want me to look up or check out or whatever, let me know. Yeah, we'll go from there. Outside of that, very excited to talk with Michael Bancroft. Again, it's been a long time. I have not talked with Bancroft in, God, I want to say like a year and a half or more. Because I know he came and did Iron Age Nights. And then, if I am not mistaken, I believe I did his show as well. I think. Oh, God, it's been so long. I don't remember. Also, he got kicked off of Twitter. Heard about that. So, I took my D20 and rolled a 10. What topic is that? I don't know. I'm not a DM. You think I actually prepare for this stuff? Funny thing. Bancroft is the only of my fellow Australians I can tolerate. Eric Grant, you're Australian. I did not know that you were from Upside Down World. I'm learning so much tonight. I have no idea how he got kicked off of Twix. I plan on asking him, but he's got to be here for me to ask him, right? But yeah, it's been so long since I talked about. I know that we talked about reaching out and getting him back on again, and I think there was a conversation in there, and it was just schedules and timelines, and when we were doing Iron Age Nights, we were booking people 2 months out. And we kind of often asked ourselves, are we just shooting ourselves in the foot? Because there was a lot of times people wanted to come on, and then they would have to cancel last minute. So I used to always, I always touch base with people hey, are you still able to do it? I always touch base with people a week of and be like, hey, you able to come on? But we would book people 2 months out. It's also kind of part of the reason I'm trying to do 2 interview shows a week, because I realize there's so many people to talk to, and just doing 1 interview show a week, there's no way I'm gonna get through. I think because we had that form that people could go and sign up for. I don't even have access to it anymore. And they could be like, hey, I'd love to be on the show. And we could, kind of review the projects and stuff and kind of prioritize, okay, who do we want to have on? What do we think has more merit? So on and so forth. And then there was just people that we want to have on. But the problem is I think at the time, or for almost the entirety of the time that list existed, we had a year and a half's worth of people that we could interview. And that did not include new people that didn't know about the list. Higher profile people that we wanted to get on, that we would just reach out and ask. They didn't it was. So thinking about that, it was just insane. I remember it was wild. I imagine it's when you get Carhartt, Thorogood, and Bush ads. Okay, so fuck you, Mario Trujillo. Also, I don't wear Carhartts. I don't like Carhartts. Actually, so I absolutely I don't like Carhartt jackets. They're not what they used to. Old Carhartts like 20 years ago were absolutely baller. But I don't wear Carhartts. I don't even think I had a Carhartt for a long time. I actually have Wranglers. For like when I have jackets, I have flame. I've got FR like denim for when I'm welding, and then actually one of my cold weather jackets is a wool lined denim jacket that I wear. You guys have seen. Love wool. Wool is awesome. One of the things that I learned a long time ago, just random information. I'm going to give you this random information because I just feel like imparting knowledge that like at a party, you could be like, well, actually, because I love turning people into well, actually people, because it's so fun. And no, I'm not sorry for what I'm about to do. I absolutely fucking love wool because wool is one of the few materials that will retain its heating properties when it's soaking wet. You still got the joke. I still win. It's really hard when you make a joke that on the nose. Was it really a joke or was it just a statement? Either way. My Carhartt was made in the 80s and my daughter has it now. Yeah, dude, them old ones were really good. Them old ones were really, really good. My problem with Carhartts now, just the price, dude. The price is ridiculous. Their quality is dropped. It's like Red Wings. You guys ever get a pair of Red Wing boots? Oh, man. Back in the day, Red Wings were king. And I still know a lot of people today that will swear by Red Wings. Red Wings were baller back in the day, man. I had probably the best set of boots that I ever had. And then when I was going to go buy another set, because they lasted me forever. When I was going to go buy another set, one, they didn't have the style of boot that I had, which was really comfortable. And two, I had heard that they had stopped manufacturing in the U.S. and they shifted to a cheaper manufacturer. And a lot of people were like Mexico or something like that. And a lot of people were telling me that the quality just wasn't there anymore. The boots were falling apart faster and all that. So yeah. So anyway, just redneck knowledge for you. I don't know if you guys needed that or wanted that, but you know, it do be how it do be. But yeah, how did we start talking? Oh, that's right, because Mario Trujillo was stereotyping me. How dare you? How very dare you stereotype me as I drink my Busch Light? To wear sweatshirts under my Carhartt because I'm allergic to wool. That sucks, dude. That sucks. Ugh. That is, I will say this. One of the best pair of boots that I had was a pair of lace-up Ariats. And they stopped making that specific Ariat. But they were heavy. They were work boots. They were durable. But they were comfortable. And they don't make them anymore. And it made me mad. I was so mad. So mad when they stopped doing that. But yeah, I wore those things until I had holes in the sides of them. Red Wings, Levi's, and Budweiser. My dad is Mexican from Dodge City. Dude, I got Levi's on right now, man. That's the jeans that I buy because they're not the strength. You guys, okay. I need to rant for a little bit. Just let me go on this rant. Why on God's green earth are we taking the most beautiful thing known as jeans and making them like stretchy and turning them into these weird amalgamation of like jeans / yoga pants? You ever order a pair of jeans online? Because who goes to the fucking store anymore? And they show up and they're like the stretchy denim. Have you guys ever done... It's so uncomfortable. Like, dude, I'm not a blonde white woman ordering fucking pumpkin spice lattes from Starbucks. I'm a dude that needs a set of work jeans. Why are you sending me stretchy pants? That bothers me so bad. I hate it. I hate them. I do. I hate them. I feel like Anakin right now. And I see advertisements from places that from like the Unsubscribed podcast. They've got a clothing thing that they do they've got a deal with an advertiser, And they advertise these jeans. They're like, oh, they stretch and look at this. And I'm just like, that would make me so uncomfortable. That makes me horribly uncomfortable. Dude, I don't even own a pair of shorts. Wait. No, I don't even own a pair of shorts. I had a pair of shorts at one point in time because the wife and kids wanted me to go swimming at the local pool with them. I hate going swimming because I have inner ear issues, and every time I go swimming, I get an ear infection. But anyway, I had a pair of shorts. I don't even know where they are now. I don't even own a pair of shorts. I have boots. I don't even own a pair of tennis shoes. Although I am going to have to start working out again, and I'm going to be really honest, the boots that I have are just uncomfortable to work out in, so I am going to have to bitch out and get a pair of tennis shoes for working out purposes, which bothers me. I loved Lee jeans better than Levi. I don't know. Lee jeans are okay. I don't know. I hate Wrangler jeans. Wrangler jeans are some of the most uncomfortable jeans I've ever wear because I wear boots. So I wear a boot cut style of jean, and man, Wranglers are just, I don't know, man. They don't last the way that they used to. Wranglers used to last. They used to be a good work jean. Nowadays, my God. I don't think Wranglers today could stand up to office work. And I would know. I'm an office bitch now. I'm not even out in the field anymore. Turning them into cutoffs like my dad did whenever. No. See, that's not like it. No, like I'm not, dude. No, I'm not taking my older jeans and turning them into cutoffs just to go swimming. No, because one, my older jeans, once they start getting all the holes and stuff in them, and they start, oh, dude, those are my comfy jeans. Those are my at-house jeans. Yeah, like when I'm at the house and I'm just like, I want a comfortable weekend, I throw on the comfy jeans. They're destroyed as shit. They got the pockets are fucking hanging out. Oh, I love them. Love those jeans. They're so comfortable. So comfortable. Women, Royce, it's always women. It is always. Why is it always women? Why? Why do they do this to us? Why? I don't understand this thing. Red Wings, Levi's, and Buzzweiser. My dad is a Mexican from Dodge City. Oh, God. From Dodge City. Wow. Yeah, and that leads me back to, like, I am so opposed to, like, regular clothing costing more than $20. Like, I will not buy. Royce has white girl jeans. How do I have white girl jeans? Fuck are you talking about? But anyway, you can't buy a pair of jeans for under $20 anymore. Like, you can't. Not at least something that's gonna last longer than 2 months. And then shirts are just ridiculous. I buy the 5-pack of the shirts, or they used to be a 6-pack. Now they're a 5-pack, I think. But the 5-pack of shirts, that's just like, they're kind of like this, but they're just like black and gray. I buy those. And then I see people out here and like people are charging like $50 for a shirt. I know what I've had to do some t-shirt printing and stuff like that back in my band days. I know what it costs for like, and how it gets exponentially cheaper the more shirts that you order to get and then have them printed and all that. I am telling you right now, anybody charging $50 for a shirt with a logo on it is fleecing you. They are fleecing you, because that shirt at the end of the day, even after printing, maybe costs them $2.50 because they get like bulk pricing. Right? Because the people who buy the shirts, the printing factory buys the shirts, they're getting them for cheap. Then they're putting your design on it and charging you like $2.50 or $3. And then you're selling them for $50. Dude, that bothers me. That's why I legitimately, I took all my shirts on my spring store that I did, and I made all of them $20. Because it's gross to me how, and here's the thing is, like, I don't get like over the top monies for all that. Like, I get a couple of bucks from each shirt, but I have a problem with shirts being more than $20. And so I'm not going to charge more than $20. Like, unless it starts charging me money for it. Like, I've got some designs up there that I really like. I think they're kind of cool. I hope you guys like them too. And if you buy a shirt, that's awesome. All the tears. I've only seen white girls wear torn up jeans. You didn't hang around a lot of rednecks, did you? Seen a lot. Rednecks never wore torn up jeans when they had to do some serious stuff. But when we didn't have to do some serious stuff, we were wearing our comfy jeans. And white girls, they don't wear jeans until they become comfy jeans. They go out and they buy the jeans with the holes in them. Which I actually do have one set of jeans that I had when I was in a band. I was like, all right, you gotta have a set of torn up jeans to wear. And I literally only wore them on stage. And they're so old, they're falling apart now. They've turned into comfy jeans. But God, when did I even buy those? That was like 10 years ago. Oh yeah, that was like 10 years ago. God. I don't like when I can start remembering shit in decades. Hang around rancheros and such. There you go. I don't like, you guys ever do that? You like remember a thing and you're like, that was like a number of years ago that I don't want to put a number to. You ever do that? You just be sitting there just thinking about stuff, You're like, oh my God, that was awesome. That was like 15 years ago. And then you go, why? When did I get old enough to start remembering? Here was the crazy part is when I started remembering stuff and it hit the double decades. I was like, and we're going to stop thinking about that. It's from a town of less than 500 people. I know rednecks, Royce. There you go. There you go. I love small towns, dude. I do. I live in a small town and there's like some rednecks, but like we're in town and we kind of live in a nicer part of town. Like our town is less than 3,000 people. It's not super small. But like, dude, we live on a block with like so many Karens. Like if these Karens could start an HOA, they would. And it bothers me. I'm like, you're in the middle of butt fuck nowhere. And yeah. Wait till you measure in scores of years. It's coming. It's coming. So unless the beer kills my liver anytime soon, I don't know. Goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen. I have to do this until Michael Bancroft. It's so easy when you have a guest. Because when you have a guest, you're just like, hey, Mr. Guest or Mrs. Guest. What I don't know. I don't know who they be. I'd be like, so Mr. or Mrs. Guest, I either have met you or it's been a long time since you've been on. And for the question is, if I haven't met you, it's really cool. I checked out your project. How did you get started in that? And then Mr. or Mrs. Guest, they just go off and it's like, awesome, cool. I can sit here and listen. And then it's a guest that I haven't had back on in a while. I'd be like, dude, it's been so long since I've seen you. What's new, man? What's going on? Oh, by the way, I saw a little bit of drama the other day. And then they just go. It's so easy. And then you just go back and forth with the natural conversation. It's so fun. Now I have to sit here, okay, with no guest and be entertaining until the guest gets here. Chat, how do I do it? How do I do this? I don't know. I don't know. Who am I? What am I? If I don't have a question to ask to somebody. So you're saying it's all Bancroft's fault. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so yes. Yeah. Yes. Let's roll with that. I love that idea. It's all Bancroft's fault. I absolutely love that idea. Back in the day, you should ask him about it. I might once he gets here. When he gets here, I will. It's going to be like an hour plus until he gets here. We'll lay into him once he gets here. Yes. You can talk on how different your two smokers and what you would like about each of them. Actually, I can talk about the two smokers that I built and what I like about each of them. And actually what I learned from the first one to the second one. But also things I still really like about the first one. I could absolutely do that. Yeah. You're closing in on one of those towns that have only ended in a family or so. That's when things get dramatic. I will say this, dude. Small town drama is so funny. So funny. People just say stuff. And it's like, okay. I thought about putting up, like, when we were hearing rumors about ourselves, I thought about putting up a yard sign, like one of those realty signs in my yard. And every time we heard a rumor about ourselves, just like custom printing and like putting that rumor about us, I'd be like, the old ladies said this about us, and just putting it in my, just to troll them. I thought about it. I almost did it too. I almost did it. Oh man. Oh, I wanted to troll them old ladies so hard. Oh, it was gonna be great, but I was like, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe. Small town drama is the best entertainment. I mean, it can be, dude, but small town drama now, dude, like it turns in to like alcohol fueled fights and cops show up now. Like it's not like it used to be. It's so different now. It's so different. Those old ladies might be packing. Oh, dude. Oh, I was ready to piss some old biddies off. I was so ready. I was so ready to piss some old biddies off. Oh, fuck them. Dude, we got the cops showed up to our house 5 times last year to tell us that we needed to like clean up our yard. And it's just because the kids were leaving their scooters and their bikes out and shit like that. Like it wasn't like we were mowing the grass, we kept the weeds taken care of, you know. But the cops showed up like, and it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you here? Well, you need to clean up your yard. Okay, like what's so bad? Well, you just need to clean it up. My wife asked the cop one time, and she's like, okay, can you be specific? Like what exactly it is about our yard? Because we were like, it's like we've been around our town, dude, and I'm here to tell you right now, there are some houses. Front yards look like bombs went off in front of them, right? But all of a sudden, we get the cops showing up for that, and we're like, what is happening right now? It's because the old ladies had nothing better to do with their time. They had nothing better to do. And they didn't like the fact that my wife, she would get like deer heads and animal heads from farmers and hunters and stuff like that. And my wife would go and she would deflesh the heads and all that. And she would make sure she gets all the stuff, get them cleaned, and she would whiten them and everything. And she would sell them for hanging pieces. You know, and those old, those old biddies, dude. Oh, I bet they about had a heart. They live in a fucking farm town, and I bet they had a heart attack seeing, you know, a younger woman out there defleshing a head, teaching our kids about the organs. By the way, we used it as a homeschool lesson. Oh man, it's not a bomb; it's a meth lab. You say that, you're probably not wrong. Oh, dude, it's so nuts, man. It's so nuts. I love living in a small town. I do. There's less danger of shit going on. But, gee golly gosh, Willikers, can you just mind your own business, please? Oh, gnarly yards, you're saying, huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, ours wasn't even that bad. I mean, they may have also been really mad at me for firing up an angle grinder at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday and Sunday because I had a smoker that I needed to build. And noise ordinance in the town says I can do that. I started waiting until 8 o'clock. Oh, God. Like I said, less than 500 people and my family were the only Mexicans. So what you're saying is your family was the only family in town with good food. That's how I'm translating what you just said to me. Because I'm going to be really honest with you. Midwest white people food is terrible. I hate it. And Midwest white people, their taste buds are so shot. They'll be like, oh my God, this is so good. How did you make that? They melted Velveeta. That's all they did. Velveeta is not cheese. Stop it. It's not good. We've been to parties, dude. My wife and I have been to parties and the food is getting complimented. And my wife and I, we're kind of food snobs at this point. Well, kind of yes, kind of no. My dad grew up with a lot of Italians and Mexicans and learned how to cook from them. And we're not talking about Italians and Mexicans that were Americanized. We're talking about the people that immigrated here to this country. They didn't even speak the fucking language. And my dad learned how to cook from them, right? So my dad grew up, and us being on a budget, do you have any idea how many things you can make out of ground beef from every culture around the world? You can do ground beef in 5,000 different ways. That's what my dad used to say. And my dad used to cook some baller dishes and like some from scratch dishes because he learned how to cook from, you know, his friends' grandparents who immigrated here. And so I grew up with, I mean, we might have not been super well off. I mean, we weren't poor. I mean, I still had a fucking Xbox and, you know, whatever, you know, we were middle class. But then you move out to the Midwest and you're like, oh, so you never heard of flavor before at all? And then you ask people, be like, man, I could go for something spicy right now. And they're, oh, I can't do spice. And they're just like, oh, and dude, I've had people look at me and they're just like, oh my God, this is really spicy. And I'm like, all right, what's it? They're like, oh, we put a habanero in this. And I'm like, all right, bet. And I eat it. And I'm just like, yeah, it's not. So, and they're, that's not spicy to you? I'm like, no. Like, I've eaten so much spicy food. Like, things don't start getting out of like my personal medium range until we're into like ghost pepper. We start hitting ghost pepper, and I don't mean the store-bought ghost pepper because that stuff sucks. I mean fresh grown out of a garden and cooked in some stuff ghost pepper. Like, then we're starting to add some heat in there. If we're at like 1 or 2 ghost peppers, you actually want to destroy me, we're talking 5 to 10 ghost peppers. And then my wife knows how I am, and so she will make something like wicked fucking spicy. I'm just like, bet. And then I sit there and eat it, and then about 30 seconds later, just tears and snot, and oh, it's so good. And she's like, it's really hot. I'm like, it's so hot, but it's so good. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't breathe. I can't see. I'm pretty sure mustard gas isn't this bad. Ow, ow, ow. So we were talking about jeans a minute ago. You ever start tugging on something and you're just like, that's not comfortable. It's not comfortable. My aunt was from Poland and her food was awesome. No. I think that food from all over the world can be absolutely fantastic. That's why oftentimes I ask people in Discord to share their recipes from their homelands, because I'm probably not going to travel very much. And I think experiencing new food is absolutely fantastic. And it's all about the preparation of it. But the Midwest, man, keep in mind, the only place in the Midwest that's known for its food is Chicago. Think about that. Think about it. And everybody talks crap about Chicago, but I've been there for a work event. And they took us to a steakhouse for this work event. I'll be honest, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I mean, Chicago-style hot dogs, come on. You take a hot dog and you turn it into this just device of joy. It's amazing. It's incredible. You know, what do they got them? They got what are they? The Italian beef sandwiches, where they take before they give you the sandwich, they dip it in the jus, and then they give you this sandwich. And I mean, come on, it's delicious. But the rest of the Midwest hates Chicago for obvious reasons, but won't learn to cook from. If the Midwest would just take some cooking pointers from Chicago, I would be happy with the food in the Midwest. I would. The Culinary Institute is located in Poughkeepsie. That's a word I've never seen before. New York, Mid-Hudson Valley, my world, bub. According to my mom, some of the richer folks from a town or two over accidentally brought my grandpa's butcher cows every so often. They didn't accidentally do it. They did it because them cows were probably, most likely, very delicious because of how they were raised. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, goodness. Damn it, I knew I should have gone to the bathroom before I started the stream because now I forgot. But I can't go to the bathroom when Bancroft is here because then that ruins the interview. So, guys, I need you to give me a minute. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Oh, I should have put on music before the... damn it, I knew I was forgetting something. I was totally going to put on music. I'll be right back, guys. Don't leave. Don't leave. It's fine. Don't leave. I don't like that screen. It doesn't move. I like this screen. It moves. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Kind of yet. Hold on, wait. Now I'm back. Oh. No, that is gross. The Hedge. Hi, The Hedge. What's going on? Haven't seen The Hedge in a while. I need to touch base with The Hedge because he's been doing a lot of good work lately. And it'd be nice to sit down and talk with him in an interview about all the things that he's been having go on. Yes. Bear in mind, Grandpa was demolition specialist. Woo, in the salt mines for over 40 years, survived multiple cave-ins and went to work or church the next day. Yeah. Because that's what you do. Man, there's still a lot of guys out there like that today. They're just not as many of them, you know? And I think a lot of it has to do with the level of comfort that society has now is that we're very, very comfortable in society, a lot of us, to the point where we just don't feel like we sorry, I was checking an email from Michael Bancroft. We just don't feel like we got to work that hard anymore. And I really think that that's one of the things. Quote, if I knew I would have lived this long, I wouldn't have retired so early. See, that's what I'm saying. I honestly am. I have the mentality now that I don't think I ever want to retire. I just don't. I mean, whether or not I stay working in the current position that I have, or whatever position I have in the future, or do my own thing or whatever, I just don't think I want to stop. Because there are all those stories out there, right? Guys retire and then 6 months later they die, is because they lose their purpose in life. It's like purpose keeps men driven to keep achieving, right? To keep living, to keep getting up every single day, to keep moving forward. And that And that's something that I think a lot of people don't put a lot of value on nowadays. So, guys in the rock quarries, built either roads or buildings. Yeah, it's definitely a change in the generations, and I don't necessarily think it's a good change, but it is what it is. And we just kind of have to make the best of it, right? I think a lot of manual labor jobs, and I think trade work is going to absolutely come back because let's face it, AI is not coming for my job. AI is not coming for the trades, for the people that got to do the hard work. AI is coming for the coders and the software engineers that designed it, which is ironic and funny. But also kind of scary because, those people are going to be looking for work and they're going to be showing up and they're going to be like, well, I never really thought that I was going to be a construction worker, but I got laid off from my software job, and I need this job. And then now you've got to be, oh, can you imagine? Okay, God, can you imagine? Can you imagine the guys that are going to have to train some of these software dudes in the construction field? Oh my God. Like, what are you doing? Well, it's just really hot out. I just needed to take a break. Take a break? Motherfucker, you can take a break at 5:00 when we get off. We got shit to oh, dude, it's going to be so funny. Like, well, I don't understand why you guys are being so hard on me. You just think because I was a software guy, I can't work as hard as you. You're standing over there not doing shit. No, you can't work as hard as us. Oh, it's going to be funny. Yeah, he was around when they drop you in a hole in a bucket. Yo, shit. Yeah, those guys were, dude, them older guys, man, they did some things. That's like my dad. My dad's got some stories of stuff that he did back in the day, and I'm just like, Jesus. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, you teach the coders on the pipeline as day laborers. Oh, my God. Oh, they wouldn't fucking last, dude. You got any idea what it's like to be a laborer in a pipeline world? I just did the utility side. of the world, not even like the full-blown transmission, man. And I know what it was like when I was a laborer, dude. Like, dig this hole. We've got to get this job done, and we can't get the backhoe in here. And you and your buddy jump in that hole, and it's got to be 6 foot by 6 foot, and it's got to be 4 foot deep, and we need it done in an hour and a half. And the reason it needs to be that much is because the welder's got to get in there and do his job. And if that hole isn't good, guess what? The welder is now not getting out of his air-conditioned truck, waking up from his nap after watching Netflix to come down and do the work because you, as the laborer, didn't dig the hole right. No joke, I knew some guys like that. I actually knew some pretty cool welders that'd be out there like, boys, take a break for a second, give me the shovel. Like, I knew some old guys that they were cool. They'd be like, hey, boys, you've been digging your asses off for 45 minutes straight. Take a break. Here's some water. And like the welder and the boss would jump in and they'd cut us a 5-minute break. But that was something you had to earn. That wasn't given to you. That was like you had to earn that. That's good times. What's so cool about work like that too is I think a lot of people discount this. You think about it, man, the brotherhood that's built from work like that is so freaking cool. Right? It's so freaking cool, the brotherhood that you get from working your ass off next to another dude who's working just as hard as you are. Right? It was awesome, man. I made some great buddies. I never associated with people that I worked with outside of work, but man, like when we were at work, dude, we were thick as thieves, man. It was that because again, that stuff when you're out on a 105-degree day digging, And there's not a tree in sight, and you just have to work, and there's asphalt right there, which is making it hotter. You and the people that you're working with get pretty fucking tight with each other. And that's cool shit, dude. I kind of miss that. I kind of do miss that. But now I got to be an office manager, and although I understand that, and a lot of my guys, I actually understand that, I do understand that, but there is still that separation, right? Because I'm still in that manager role. It's different now. It's different now. And I'm not in the pipeline world anymore, or utility world, I should say. But yeah, it is what it is. Cousin started as a laborer and worked to lead welder of his shift in the oil rig in Texas. Fuck. Ugh. Royce gonna bird dog us real workers. I don't bird dog my guys. I would bird dog the fuck out of you, Mayor of Orc City. Just because I can. Just cause. Yeah, when your boots are stuck in the clay and shit hardened from 100-degree sun, yeah, and you miss your breakfast because you woke up late, yeah, that'll build some strong bonds. Oh, dude. So here's how cool my foreman was, and I had to earn a lot of respect with this guy. So, it was our third child. My wife needed to go in for an ultrasound, and at the time we were a 1-car family. And I told my boss, I was like, hey, she has her ultrasound at like 8 in the morning. I'm going to go. We're going to take her in. Not sure how long it's going to take. I think I'll be back to work at like 11 o'clock. Right. And my boss I was like, I just need that much time off. And it was actually an important day. They had to call in somebody else to like fill in for me because I was lead pipe fuser on the job at the time. Pipe fuser, I dealt with plastic line at the time. I wasn't quite into the welder fitter role. Or was I fitting at that time? Was I metal fitting? I don't remember. Anyway, regardless, it was plastic shit we were dealing with. We had to dig up this line. And I knew that it was a tough day, but that's where my wife's appointment was. So I take off the morning. My wife and I go to the appointment. We get out at like a little later than what we thought we were going to. I text my boss. I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm going to be a little later. I will be there by 11:30. My boss texts me back. He's like, don't worry about it, dude. We've got it. We've got it taken care of. We got somebody to come in and take your spot for the day. We're good. He's like, everything's going smooth for the day. I'm like, are you sure, dude? I'll come in. He goes, just take the day off. Be with your wife. I was like, all right. So I get my paycheck the next week. And we work 10-hour days. And my paycheck had 10 hours of overtime on it. And I look at my pay stub and I go up to my boss and I'm like, hey man, I noticed there's a mistake on my pay stub. And he's like, yeah, what's up? I was like, well, if you remember last week, I wasn't here on Friday. And it got marked down. I was like, so I just wanted you to know. So like, if you need to like take that off my next week's check or whatever. And he goes, I don't see a mistake. And me, like, you guys all know me in the Discord. I don't take a joke. I'm super. And I'm like, no, dude, like, here. Like, he goes, Royce. I was like, yeah. He goes, how many times have you showed up early to work to warm up the truck and get the truck ready before our starting time, just to make sure the truck was ready, make sure your tools were good for the day? I was like, I've done it a fair amount. He goes, and how many times have you parked that truck, a little later at night and it didn't, and it didn't make it to your paycheck? I was like, that shit happens, man. It does. And he goes, yeah. He goes, we're square. The amount of respect that I had for my boss, he could ask me to do anything on that job and I would fucking do it. When you get a guy that takes care of you like that, that's a rare motherfucker, especially in construction. You're going to tell me you just paid me a full 10-hour day that I wasn't even there for. And on top of that, it was overtime. That's a good boss, dude. I will never forget that man as long as I live. I will never forget that. That guy taught me how to lay out a job. He taught me how to plan. He taught me how to prepare. That's why I've always said 90% of a good, 90% of a job well done is proper preparation. The last 10% is just executing on all your prep, your plan, your plan, your tools, the materials that you brought, right? The the conversations you've had. He taught me 90% of a job well done is proper preparation, dude. I will never forget that guy, dude. I will never forget him. He even, there was a time I woke up, it was, like, I woke up, completely missed my alarms. And I have an alarm clock and a cell phone going off, and I totally slept through them. And it happened to me twice out of the years that I worked with this guy. And he never, he knew what happened, but he never held it against me. He covered with the superintendent. It was like, no. He's like, I had Royce go check on another job before he got here, so he's just not going to make it to the yard to check on the truck. Because we had other jobs that we kind of bounced from. He's like, I just had to check to make sure the securement on this other job was good. He fucking covered for me, dude. Mario Trujillo, they built a cell tower behind a place I work at. I use a wood stove, so I have to get the wood that's right next to the new tower. Dudes used to use the plow to grab me a week's worth of wood. Them some good dudes, man. Them some good dudes. That's awesome. See, I don't know, like, construction workers, like, we're used to getting shit on. We're used to being honked at, flipped off. You know, it's our fault that you can't drive 95 miles an hour in a school zone because we have a cone zone set up and we're doing construction. Like, I get it. Like, dude, it was so funny, dude. There were places that wouldn't even let us, like restaurants and stuff that wouldn't even let us, like, go in to, like, use a bathroom or something because we had a hard hat on our head. And they didn't want the rabble in their establishment. It was wild, dude. So Colorado got some crazy people. And when we would have a little kid come up and stop and just look at the backhoe digging and just lose his shit. And she would go, okay, honey, we have to go. These guys probably don't want you sitting here watching. All of us are like, nah, he could watch all day. He's excited about it. Like, yeah, it's like, we'd be like, hey, buddy, like, do you want to sit in the seat? And she, oh, no, I can't. Oh, no, I like it. And operator, bucket to the ground. He'd shut the machine off, turn the seat around. Operator would get off when the mom would come up and let him sit in the seat and, like, turn the steering wheel real quick. I mean, he was in no danger. We were all standing there. Machine was off. Dude, that made our day. That made our day. We had a bunch of kids in a neighborhood one time come up to us carrying a cooler full of Gatorades and cold water. And it was hotter than fuck out that day. And they were just like, we just wanted to say thank you guys for the hard work that you're doing. And we were like, and that was in a ritzy neighborhood. That's what blew our mind. Like, this was like an upscale neighborhood. That shit never happened. Dude, changes your week. Like, bros will ride on that for days, man. Kid come out and gave me a cold Gatorade and a cracker snack I think they had. Yeah. It was wild. And ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the main event, Mr. Michael Bancroft.
Sorry, apologies for being late. I work with all women.
I was going to tell you not to apologize, and then you said you work with all women, and then I'm like, no, he did it to himself.
They're a little chatty, you know. It's Friday here, Friday morning, so things get a little bit chatty in there, and it is what it is.
It is what it is. Dude, how have you been?
Dude, I've been really well, really well. So much has changed. I did check. I was listening in when you started, right before I started work. And you did come on my show. It was 2 years ago.
Holy crap.
Can you imagine how much has changed? Like in YouTube and in indie comics as well, things move very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
You know, 2 years is a lifetime ago.
That's why that's what I was trying to remember, because I was like, I know you came on, and I was like, did I go on his show? Like, I feel like, but I think
Well,
that
like
didn't you and I end.
context, you were making a what are they, like a barbecue kind of thing?
Yeah, I have 2 of them now.
Well, there you go. That's what you were doing
Yeah.
when we last hung out.
Yeah. Wow. That was the first one that I made.
There you go.
Good Lord. That's nuts, man. Yeah, my first offset smoker that I built, and that's cooked a lot of food.
Smoker.
That's cooked a lot of food on it.
It's got a lot of that meaty patina on the inside by now, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The good stuff.
It
All
does.
that flavor smoked into the metal.
You joke, but it's actually true. Dude, that's wild. I cannot believe it's been 2 years. Didn't we end up on somebody else's stream at one point too? I thought
it's possible. It's possible.
I don't know. There was
I stream. I'm on YouTube maybe like 5 times a week. So over the course of a couple of years.
Right.
Yeah, I don't remember
Yeah.
everything that I get up to on this site.
No, I absolutely, yeah, I kind of there too. Especially because it's a long time, and I don't get invited on a lot of streams, which is interesting.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing, do you think?
I don't know. It's probably a good thing. I think it's probably like a net good.
That's what I feel. I didn't get invited that much anywhere either, and I feel like I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Well, dude, some of it, like, especially like you see a lot of the people get invited on, and then a stream, just a panel of people just turn into a drama fest, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
There were a few of them that they were like, hey, like I did get invited. They were like, hey, do you want to come on? And I was like, dude, I can't. I'm super busy tonight. I'm either working on like a YouTube video. I got some other stuff going on. And then people were like, did you see what happened on this stream? And I'm like, no, I was invited to be on that stream. What did I miss?
Well, it was already crazy tribal a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah.
And since then, it's like, it's like they just pulled the lever and it broke off. Ugh. And it's just, yeah, it's like, you hung out with him. Oh my God. It's crazy.
Oh, dude, I just can't imagine that. Like
me either.
I got to a point where I was like, I don't care about the click stuff anymore. I don't care about the name. I don't care about you're like, well, I'm this group or I'm that. I don't care. Are you making a good thing? Are you making a good thing? Do you care about the thing that you're making? Do other people like the thing that you're making? All important questions to ask. You know what's not an important question to ask? What fucking high school internet clique you're a part of? When it comes to
it was never interesting. And I never liked it. It always rubbed me that it was like, oh, like you got to ask, like, what affiliation are you? Are you such and such adjacent? I was like, what? Life is very finite, and you only get a certain window, even in that life, where you can be actually productive and you're capable of doing good things. And it's like to spend those years, that time worrying about any of this stuff, it's crazy.
Dude, it got to me very, very quick because I tried to just stay out of it, but God, the amount of people that wanted to just drag me into it. And I've gotten
it's like the mafia. Just when you think you're out.
Dude, I've gotten to a point where if somebody jumps in and they try to start some drama crap in the street, and I don't mean like the boys joking around or heckling each other. All of that's very welcome. Bats, what's going on? I mean like people trying to be like, oh, this click versus that click, or I just ban them now. I don't care. I don't have time for it. I don't care.
Well, it's interesting with the Twitter, with X, it's sort of like stepping back, and because I can still look at X, I just can't interact with it. It's like I'm in the phantoms. I'm like a ghost. I can see it, but I can't touch anything. I can't talk to anyone. So it's kind of like stepping back and seeing it all. And I'm seeing things and I'm just thinking, oh, if I ever get my X back, I'm unfollowing that guy. I'm muting that guy. It's like,
dude, I got to a point with X like in January.
Are you off it now?
Dude, I'm off. I deleted my account and everything. I'm gone. I got to a point where the only time that I was like trying to respond, but I deleted so many times I was going to respond to people.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
one of the times I just got to the nth time that I was going to respond to somebody just out of like the one liner, the one upper, like kind of like the angry rage post.
Yeah.
And I usually always deleted those because I was like, that's not a valuable conversation point. And I stopped and I thought to myself, I'm like, wait a minute. The only time I'm posting on this website is when I'm angry. Right there,
I've
dude.
noticed that a lot.
As
I've
soon as I
noticed
had
that.
that,
Yeah, I've noticed people who can be pretty level-headed and reasonable and rational when you talk to them on a stream are raving lunatics
oh
on
god, yeah.
X. And I think that's just what it brings out. And there's a great Key and Peele sketch from years ago where one guy's like, yeah, we'll hang out, whatever, and the guy's like, whatever. And, he keeps reading into what's
Oh
being
god,
written.
yeah. And it's like meet me here. It's like, yeah, I'll meet you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah,
I've seen
that's
that
it.
one.
And that's what happens. And it's like, and that's just the format of it. So I have totally noticed that as well, which is why probably I'm banned off it, because I used to do that. I've been on Twitter 10 years. And when I first got onto it, I used to get into a little bit of that, a bit of the back and forth stuff. And I learned very quickly how pointless and time wasting the whole thing is. So I just said, all right, when I'm on X, I'm just going to be promoting. I'm not going to give opinions. If I want to give an opinion, I can do it on YouTube. Or I can just not give my opinion at all.
Yeah.
And, so I just,
yeah,
and
they're
I think
your
that's
opinions.
what got
You
me
decide
in.
what to do with them.
Yeah. Well, I post links and stuff. I post whatever to my streams. And that's why I think they were like, oh, this isn't a real person, because they're not angry and yelling at everyone all the time. So they must be a bot. And I think that's what got me.
I'm going to be honest. I never noticed, even posting over there, I never noticed a bump to my YouTube channel from it. Because you go and you look at your YouTube analytics and it's like, oh, 3 people from Twitter clicked on this.
Yeah,
So why am I even?
that is true. But I think how I ended up using it, I think I got pretty good at it too, was just sort of building a little bit of buzz around an idea. So what would happen is I'd throw something out on X, let it percolate, let it go around. Sometimes, it got me in trouble. Sometimes it would go way more viral than I was wanting it to. But, what would happen is other people would talk, oh, did you see Bancroft said that? Oh, that's interesting, and it just sort of created a little bit of a conversation, and then you hit them with the stream. It was a good kind of like 1-2 punch. Now that I don't have that, I feel like I'm just sort of, all right, come watch YouTube and see what happens. I do agree. I didn't notice any dip in views or anything since I haven't had my X.
Well, you bring up an interesting point, is that it's a different way to kind of engage in a conversation, which oftentimes can turn adversarial, but on the rare chance that, and I'd never had anything that I said go viral or anything, so I don't know what that feels like. But on the rare chance that something does go viral, all of a sudden you can start seeing a broader conversation around the thing that you said. And that is kind of different than YouTube, when you're chilling with your audience, you're hanging out.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
And that is something that there's not really a good platform, I think, for like the broader conversation stuff. Like X is so rage baity. I think other platforms have tried, but they've gotten absolutely nuked.
It might just be that human beings are not meant for that. We're not meant to talk to. See, one of my tweets I did, a couple of weeks ago, I think it got 40,000 views. And I'm like, my opinion is not meant to go out to 40,000 random people,
right?
Who have no idea who I am, who have no idea when I'm writing a tweet that I'm not coming into it like angry or from an authoritative position. I'm just talking to my followers who already know me and know sort of how I act and how I talk. But it spilled out into the world, and then people all of a sudden are like, who the F is this guy? What, like, why can he talk like that? He's not and like people kind of want to take ownership over your opinions, and that's just, and you just have to kind of accept that, I suppose.
Yeah, and it's like I said, I think that's part of the reason that I really do like YouTube. It's because it's like, okay, if I have an opinion about something, I'm just gonna make a video. I'm gonna spill out the whole thing in the video, and I'm gonna post it, right? And you're gonna see all of it, or you're not gonna see all of it, and I'm gonna be able to tell if you didn't see all of it, because I love those comments.
You
said,
you didn't watch the video. I see what's going on. You just
like,
read the.
And I usually, I love those comments, and I'm just like, tell me you didn't watch the video without telling me you didn't watch the video. And they're like, you didn't turn it out, and you believe this, and I'm like, but I said this at around this timestamp. How come you didn't know? I've actually had some respectful people come in and be like, hey, bro, you're right. I apologize. I just, the title that you made, my bad. You actually made some good points here, and cheers to you. And you got a subscriber out of this. And I'm like,
I could probably count on one hand how many times that's happened, but it is very good when it does happen.
It's so good. But that's why you remember it, because it's like a diamond in the rough. Yeah. Right. That's why you remember it. It's only happened, I think, like 4 or 5 times. But God, it's so good when it does, because it's like, wow, okay.
Just last week, one old video just started picking up again, and it was about how Marvel and DC comics are not doing very well, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. And this guy comes in, is like, "You're an idiot. Manga is going crazy. They're selling huge amounts and and the Scholastic and everything." And I'm like, and so I'm just very politely, yeah, I agree. That is the case. And but with American superhero comics, and he's like, you will never reach the levels of Jack Kirby or Stan Lee. Your comic is, and I'm like, oh well, yeah, I'm that's never gonna happen. But hey, check it out. It's my first comic. You might like it. Anyway, we just keep this thing going. And just the other day, he sends me a last comment saying, yeah, you're right. Marvel and DC comics are really in the pits right now, and it's it's like. But they came in just so angry 2 weeks ago. And just after a little bit of discussion, I found, they're actually reasonable. They were just in fight mode.
And I think that's part of it is it's really hard to get people out of that fight mode in a lot of cases. But there are some people who will come in and be reasonable. I mean, and I will say this, sometimes I'm in fight mode.
I've seen your fight mode. It's entertaining.
Why, thank you.
You're a good ranter.
I don't know why. I have no idea why. And what's so crazy too is if you ever see me fly off the handle like that, like when I'm done flying off the handle, I'm just done. It's fine. That's kind of how my family was when we were kids. There was a lot of shouting and a lot of voice raising in my household. But once it was done, we were fine.
Yeah, my wife's family's like that as well. And they're French. So they're like, oh, and when they start that at that speed, I'm lost. I'm like, you need to speak at a very even keel. I can follow along. But once they start going at each other, I'm like, oh my God, they're about to go to blows. But then everything's fine. It's like, hey, have a beer. And
dude, it's weird being in a family like that. It's my wife didn't understand, because when we were very young, we used to have some shouting matches, because we were a young couple, and we were kids. We were having kids. We were 20 years old when we had our first kid, and we were but we would have some shouting match. But like 5 minutes later, I'm like, hey, you good? You want to go out? You want to get dinner? And she's just looking at me like, what? We just had a 3-day fight. Like with it, or just some stupid crap like she didn't she was like, I don't, and she understands it now, but she just doesn't have that emotional, like, oh, it's like, she has to have her cooling down period. And me, I'm like, all right. Hey, once it's
Yeah,
done,
I
it's
think
done.
that's like a male thing as well. I've
Yeah,
noticed
that could
that
be.
too. That
That
yeah.
could be. Yeah. Is so like me and my
I
brothers. Yeah.
I'm an anomaly in that I very, very, very rarely ever get angry. And it's just a I guess I'm a weird human in that regard. So I have been angry before, but
Hmm.
my
Well,
kids
that would
could
be good.
probably count it on one hand as well. How many times I've actually raised my voice to them. So
I don't think my kids could count that high. I biggest thing that peeves me off is if you're not listening to what moms and here's the cool part. As they're getting older, they're getting so much better. Like less and less, lot less yelling, some scolding now,
yeah,
but overall, like, hey guys, come on. Now it's just I come in, I'm like, guys, come on. What are you doing? Sorry,
yeah,
Dad. All right. And it's just
yeah.
as they get
That
it's so cool.
kids respond really well to that. I've noticed. So I don't really yell, but you kind of put your foot down.
Hmm.
You say the boundaries you're about to cross. Don't go there, and they actually really respond to that really well. We've found, and it's really frustrating.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's like I
It's
got
this.
Phil's. Yeah, everyone makes fun of this giant five head space that I have here. It's not even look, it's four fingers.
I was gonna say, dude, like you're
And
the
Phil
same as me.
Diaz.
It's the same as mine. Nobody's ever said it. They now that's because I get the wig comments, but that's a lore for the channel.
Yeah, when you get to our age and you still have hair,
Yeah,
people are
right.
like, "Oh, what do you is that a
My
thing?"
no, my grandfathers had hair. They died in their 70s. My grandfathers had full heads of hair when they died in their 70s. My grandmothers still have full heads of hair, so I
Yeah.
just kind of got the genetic jackpot, so that's cool.
Yeah, we're lucky like that. And I'm
Yeah.
still my older brother is white. But he was always super stressed. And he says to me, you would totally die. He thinks I dye my hair. But I'm like, I'm just not like stressed out about everything like you are.
Dude, stress will do that to you, man.
Yeah, you
Like,
see it. You
yeah,
see it.
oh, dude, yeah. Yeah, and I think that's why, like, I'm in my 30s and I don't have any. I'll be 34 here in a few months, and I don't have any gray hairs. And I know some people that were gray by the time they were 30, and I'm like, how? You know,
The
my
people who just lie in bed at night till 2 a.m. worrying about every little thing in life. My thought is, hey, you can't solve these issues in bed, so just go to sleep.
Mhm.
Yeah, fix it
Yeah,
in the morning.
I I realized a long time ago, there's no point in like overthinking about something you can't solve,
Mm-hmm.
and just okay, we're going to set that over here, and the stuff that's in front of me, I'm going to go through it, right?
Well, yeah, and as you get older, you realize you got more things to look back on. I mean, I can't even remember what I was worried about 15 years ago, let
Oh
alone
god.
20 years ago.
Oh god, yeah.
And then you think about the stuff that you do remember you were worried about 5 years ago. You're not worried about that anymore. That's in the past. So that's how I figure. I'm just like, yeah, just keep going, doing what you're doing, and things will come and go, and they'll work out how they're going to work out. Like it's not like I'm going to just completely drop the ball on
Yep.
things and just let it all
It,
fall away. So what
it,
happens will happen.
I actually remember the day that my mentality changed on this, and so before you got on, I was just BSing with everybody here. We're talking about the blue collar work, construction work. There was
Mhm.
this guy that we hired on. This is back when I was in the utility world. So I was doing natural gas line utility, putting gas lines in the ground and stuff like that. A lot of people call it pipeline work. It is technically, yes, it is pipeline, but it's the small version of it. And it's the stuff that actually feeds houses and schools and businesses. And like the
Yeah,
really,
that's what my father-in-law does as well
oh, shit,
in
cool.
France.
Yeah. But there was this guy who was wildly incompetent. Could not do after 6 or 7 months, he could not do some of the most basic stuff. We just got to a point we'd give him a broom and be like, sweep the fucking sidewalk, because that was the only thing he could literally do. And there would be days he would come up to me and just be like, well, I don't know why you're doing it like this. I just think you like, I would just start to shake out of anger. And I'm like, and I got to a point where every day I was waking up angry. I was eyes opened up, had to think about going to work with this person, angry, immediate, blind rage, shaking, not a good thing. And like tightness in the chest, bad, like bad reaction. Really didn't like this guy. And I woke up one day, and before the thought could hit my head of being angry, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't, because I felt heavy. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I was like, I don't care what happens today or what gets said. I am going to force myself to not have a bad day. I will not have a bad day. It's not going to happen. I am going to force myself to be in a good mood today. And I did. And I woke up the next day and I was like, wait, that was kind of nice. And I don't feel super stressed this morning. I didn't realize what I had done that day until years later when I reflected back on it. And I was like, whoa. Like I couldn't do it anymore. And
that's the thing. Like you make these choices to, get into arguments, to let people affect you, to do whatever it is that's making your life miserable. And if it's something you can change, you can just change it. I do try and tell my kids that as well. My daughter, she takes everything super seriously. And yeah, at some point I just said to her, look, you're carrying all this stuff. Just put it down. You don't have to carry it. Just put it down and go and friggin' lie under the sun and enjoy some time. Why are you doing all this? And yeah, she was like, wow, that was really like, sometimes someone will say something to you and you're just like, it's whatever. But for them, it was that's what they needed to hear at that time. And it sticks with them. Yeah, it is very true. And as well, I've noticed that as well. I see other people out there really getting bent out of shape about this and that and everything. I'm like, is this making you happy doing this day in, day out? I don't know. I wouldn't do it.
It was, I remember, we have one boy and we have 3 girls. And yeah, and my boy is very, very mild mannered, but there for a while he was kind of losing his shit. Just all of a sudden he just throws something across the room, which was very out of character for him. And I realized what it was is that he was getting tired of his sister's shit. And one of his sisters is, to put it bluntly, a snarky little bitch. I'm sorry. I love.
At least you're honest about it.
Oh, dude, I love my daughter, but that one has a personality. And oh, dude. And I go up to my son, I'm talking with him, and he's like, Dad, I'm just so sick of some of their crap. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, boy, we need to have a conversation. And I was like, there are 2 things that men are only allowed to do under certain circumstances. Okay. It's like, 1, as a man, you are not allowed to cry for no reason. If somebody dies, okay, if you're at a funeral, or if something important happens in your life, you can shed tears, right? Your tears are important, okay? You don't shed tears for no reason. You're a man. You don't. Your tears are important. 2, your anger. That's equally as important. And you don't give out your anger for no reason. You only do it for the times that it matters the most. When you have to protect somebody that you love, or when something really, or some other really bad thing happens. And I talked with him about that, dude. And sure enough, after that, his mood swings started calming down. And sometimes he'll start getting there. And I'm like, hey, is this one of those times? Is this an important time for tears or anger? And he'll go, no, Dad, you're right.
Yeah.
And it's wild, man. It's really interesting to have to explain all the crap that you've learned as an adult.
Well, that's all you have as a parent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the kids will slowly cotton on to the fact that you are not this all-knowing, omniscient being that they thought you were, and that you're just another person like they are.
Yeah.
But what you do have is experience over them. And, so it is very difficult. You can't tell somebody to have experience. They have to have those experiences themselves, but you can pass on these little nuggets of wisdom that you've learned to maybe, help them through these things, because it obviously is, especially when your sister is being a snarky bitch to you.
You know what? Okay.
Oh
my God.
You got to live with
you know
your
what
family.
she says to me the other day? You know what she says to me the other day? Or like, this is a few months back. You know what she says? She says,
"What's that?
Dad, I've got a joke for you." I'm like, all right, kiddo, what's up? She goes, How come orphans don't like to play baseball? I don't know, kiddo. Why don't orphans like to play baseball? She says, because they don't know where home is. She blindsided me with that one. And I was like, oh my God. So that's. And she is constant. She just, without missing a beat, just sarcastic as sarcastic.
How old is she?
She is 11 now.
Right. Yeah. Mine's 13.
Yeah. My oldest is 13.
Yeah. 13 going on 17.
Oh God.
It's crazy these days. I don't remember girls trying to grow up so quickly when I was younger, but they're trying to now. And you just got to like, stop.
So we homeschool, which I think insulates us from a lot of that. My oldest, all my oldest wants to do, she wants to do her chores, get her schoolwork done, and then she wants to play her video games and watch the anime that she likes. She's like, she lives on. We always joke, it's like, oh, like she'll come outside and sit outside with us as a family. I'm like, oh my God, you're not melting. Like she never, she's very much an introvert.
Yeah.
She doesn't like being around a whole lot of people. And but yeah, my 13-year-old's a little different.
Mine is like we kind of did in lockdown, COVID lockdown, we did the sort of homeschooling, almost sort of homeschooling thing. And because we were thinking about it, because our schools here are nuts. Like they're
I've heard.
Nuts.
I've heard.
Like the worst you could imagine happens. It's all in there, right? But our daughter is completely immune to their indoctrination. She doesn't buy a single word of it. It's just annoying. And she's become very argumentative, and she gets in trouble with her teachers because she'll, talk back at them and say, no, that's wrong. There are only two genders. Or,
good for her.
I'm not gonna call her a them. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'll call her by her name, but I won't call her them. You know? And so she gets in trouble. But when she was home by herself, it was just the worst time of her life for her. She needs friends, constantly around her. That's just her personality. I think my son would be perfectly fine with homeschooling, but for her, it just wasn't going to work.
Well, and our other three, they love going to the park, hanging out with their friends that they have here in town. But my oldest, she's just like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't.
This last week has been really, really hard on her because Charlie Kirk was like her hero. She would watch hours and hours of him, like doing those debates and everything. And that's how she sort of built up her knowledge, because she needs that to go out into this school, because they're hitting her with nonsense. And she's like, no, that's not right. No. So this has been a really hard week for her.
And I feel bad because pissing anybody off. But I didn't really pay attention to Charlie Kirk because I've been paying attention to politics and political pundits for almost 20 years at this point. And when Charlie Kirk started becoming more popular, listen to a few of his opinions, I'm like, okay, he's just another big government Republican. There's
Mhm.
like he's like Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder. Not really like I mean, and so I've seen a few clips of the guy. Kind of knew who he was. Didn't really pay attention to him. Obviously, the assassination attempt happens, and I'm just like, wow, really? I'm like, that's the guy. And for me, I'm like, I don't get it. But I'm seeing a lot of people, including my wife, who struggled with that whole thing. Because for me, I'm just like, I've been paying attention to a lot of this stuff for many years. And in my brain, I went, oh shit, they finally did it. Like they've been promising to do for years. It was a
Mhm.
scary thought. But again, I've been paying attention to this stuff for a long time. And I'm, and when people were like, he was radical right wing, and I was like, tune into some of my rants. Holy shit. Like,
Yeah.
um, obviously, and I say none of that to diminish the fact that a father and a husband didn't go home to his family that night. I say none of that to diminish that fact because I don't want to get people I don't want people to get it twisted. It's just I did not understand the cultural impact that he had, and I still don't, because I kind of wrote him off as just another typical Republican.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
think he was. I mean, from what I understand of him, I think he was more of like a states' rights kind of guy. Small federal government and more in the hands
and
of the states. That's my understanding.
well,
But
and I could be wrong then. I could totally be wrong.
yeah.
Uh, uh,
Well, either way, I think
but
the point is with him, the the real power was he spoke to young people,
and I
and
think that's what I'm missing here.
yeah,
I think that that's what I'm missing.
he
And
talked a lot about what they are sort of more concerned about. It was especially like young girls. So he's talking about his pro-life things that they will never hear in school,
yeah,
never, ever, ever. They'll and he was talking. He was broaching subjects that other people sort of get dismissed by because he was so kind of, like you said, a kind of more middle of the road opinion, the
yeah.
sort of opinions that you could expect to hear from Obama in 2006 regarding border walls and
See,
stuff
and that's
like that.
kind of where, yeah, that's kind of the idea that I got.
Yeah. So for someone who's really a kind of dyed in the wool conservative leaning, who's been there for a long while, maybe even going towards libertarian, whatever it is. Yeah, you're not gonna get much out of listening to Charlie Kirk, other than, oh
Mhm.
yeah, I agree with that or whatever, or yeah, I probably wouldn't phrase it like that, or I think he's not taking it far enough or whatever. But for a kid in today's world where they're just getting pummeled nonstop with leftist propaganda, it was like, wow. And here's someone I can actually listen to without it being, he kept it very clean. And I
He
think
did.
that's why he had such a big pull among the young
And
of today.
and and like again, for me, somebody who's been in it as long as I've had and who've heard, I didn't get it, and I don't think I still do. I still don't get the cultural impact that he had with the young. Um, and I won't go into like my full opinions of it and all that, but to hear that there are young people out there who could be changing because of him gives me hope, because I'm going to be honest, man. There not a lot of people on the right side of the aisle can do that. And
No.
that does give me hope. Uh, and and it caught, so there was a Nick Freitas.
Yep.
He is I believe a Virginia, in the Virginia House of Representatives. I actually came across him because of it. I actually very much like him. I like his reels too. He's also doing like snarky stuff about like
He's
I
I find it difficult, like, to believe how, like, articulate and passionate he can be in a speech, and like, how do you talk like that? And it's just like
I like
every single thing is so powerful, you know?
I like his reels. I like his
Yeah.
reels on Facebook. He's really funny. He's just standing there, you know, and he just looks like him. And he's like, for all the young married men out there, years ago, my wife and I were in an argument. And I looked at my wife and I said something. I said, why don't you throw something at my head? No, I'm just kidding. That's not what I said. I told her to calm down. Don't do that. And he just takes a sip out of his mouth. And I love that stuff because it's like if you've ever been in an argument with your wife and you've said calm down, that's the wrong.
Relax. Hey, just relax. Women love that. Women love being told to calm down.
Oh, dude. If you've ever been in an argument with your wife and you've started a sentence with, why are you? I don't care how the fuck you're finishing that sentences. Don't finish that sentence. Why are you like this? Why are you so angry? Why, you know, why, just, you know, why don't just whatever. It's so funny, but I came across him and I actually really like his articulation there. And I think honestly, it's good to see that young people are seeing that side of it. Cause I didn't. My wife had an emotional reaction, and I like to the point where I'm kind of like, I don't really need to share my full opinions about it with my wife because I'm kind of an asshole when it comes to some of this stuff. And it's like, I don't need to be that asshole if other people are feeling that. I have asked why are people reacting the way that they are? Because I didn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's fair of me to do. But at the same time too, it's like, okay, I also need to recognize like when it's time to stop asking that question. I also got a little angry at my own side because they were like, well, this is my wake up call. And I did a rant. You want to talk about rants? I did one on a live stream and I clipped it and I put it up and I was like, and I was like, you know, why were you not awake before, you know, Charlie Kirk? And I, you know, I lambast my own side, like, look at all the stuff that they've done before. And this is what wakes you up. Like, you know, but I'm hopeful that this is different than all of the stuff that I've heard of before. I've heard so many times, oh, you're going to wake up the sleeping giant. You're going to, and that, you know, the sleeping giant's finally going to be woken up and then they're all going to vote with you and this, that, and the other thing. And I was kind of talking with my buddy the other day and he goes, dude, that's the whole plot of Les Miserables.
I haven't seen it in a long time. I can't remember. But
effectively, the plot is that these people they're going to rise up in the French Revolution and they have the hearts and minds of the people. And on the day of the revolution, all the people are going to show up with them. And then guess what? The people didn't. The people got up and they went to work. They didn't care. And so it's like, I'm very, very kind of judgmental on that side. But to hear that somebody from another country, especially a young woman, got
it's global. Yeah.
And I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
We don't.
But see, here's the thing. I'm cool with saying I didn't know that. I'm cool with saying that I'm wrong on that. And I pray to God. I pray to God that I find out every day how much more wrong I was. Because as somebody who's been paying attention to this stuff for almost 20 years, I started paying attention to politics and started arguing politics when I was 16 years old. I'm going to be 34 here in a few months. I pray that every day I find out how wrong I was. And I'm actually probably going to start going back and watching some videos of this guy to figure out how wrong I was. Because
I think when you look at those videos, probably best, you know, he's not going to be saying anything that you don't already know.
No, I'm going to be looking for his delivery and specifically how he articulates his delivery.
You know, I think the most important thing in them is just look at how many young people are there in the crowds that he would pull. Yeah. Just listening and nodding along and agreeing and sharpening their own and learning and hearing things that they just not only did they never hear these things in school or from authority or on television or in movies, they heard the opposite.
Yeah.
So, and it never made sense to them because it doesn't make sense because it's not true.
Exactly.
Not only is it not true, some of it is evil, and they feel that, but they don't know how to articulate because they don't have any ammunition in the contrary. And that's what I think Charlie gave them. And they were hearing things for the first time. Like Bat says, we never went to school needing this stuff, needing Turning Point USA, because it wasn't in schools. Like I didn't go to school and was made to feel like I'm a evil colonizing oppressor. That just wasn't a thing. Or I like multiple genders or whatever you want to throw in there. But that's what they have now. So they really did need something like this. So I think that's probably the most important thing to glean from all this is like, look at, he's got young people who are like passionate about this stuff now and hearing this stuff for the first time that otherwise they just never would have. And I think that's probably the key here.
I have nothing to add to that. I think you're right. I think you are. I'm of two minds. One, I think we're headed to dark days. But two, I also think I'm also hopeful that the dark days aren't going to be very long. I'm actually hopeful that a lot of other people are. We'll see. We'll see. That's a much deeper conversation to get into, and I didn't know we were going to get into that conversation tonight.
It just came up.
No, it just, but that's, it's good though. It's good that it came up. But before it gets too terribly late on my end, and I got to bail out, I need to take the time to sit down and ask you what you have been doing with your own works and stuff for the last 2 years, because I haven't talked with you in 2 years. Not face to face anyway. I think you've popped into the chat once in a while, and I've popped into your chat, but I don't think what has been going on with you, your creations and all of that for the last 2 years? Catch me up.
When you are working on a comic like this, an ongoing series, it is so easy to just dive in and get lost in that world. And I do feel like that's what I do sometimes, and you forget how long it takes, because I'm the writer, artist, colorist, all this sorts of things. I wear so many hats, sometimes I'll just go like, you know what, today I just want to draw, I just want to color, I just want to do that. And then the months just fly by and you poke your head up and like, oh my God, where did they go? So I brought out, I can't remember where we're up to, I got this book out. That was that one that I was probably making when, we were hanging out a bit more. That's the
that was, I remember you hold on, hold that up real quick. And I got to remember how to hit the solo button. How do I do that? Where's the button?
How long have you been Oh, they moved it. Yeah, they changed it.
Whoa, that's a different button. What the fuck?
I saw that update the other day. Yeah, so I got that one out, and that's a big, thick book. That's a 100-page book.
Yeah. I'm sharing your link for your website in the chat right now.
You're doing it all yourself. It does take a little while to do. So that took up a chunk of time. And I put it out in hardcover editions as well. These beautiful oversized,
those covers are
I'm really happy with how they came out. So that was the first book. And I got, I got these printed with this great printer that I have here in Australia that no one else really does, like cool stuff. Like, look at this.
Oh,
how cool is that? And these are like proper, stitched hardcovers.
Wild.
You can open them flat and everything. A lot of people, they get the hardcovers done by these printers who just sort of glue them together and doesn't really work that well. Whereas these can go full flat with that. You can actually see the stitches in there. And it's like, compared to a normal sized comic, it's such a different reading experience. But I'm actually nearly sold out of these. I've probably got like 10 left of each.
Hey,
but
I just dropped the link, guys. Seriously.
Thank you.
He maybe has 10 left. Well, you can be one of the last 10. Those look fucking phenomenal.
Thank you, man. I also, now where are they? I probably should have pulled them out. I also did like a little cool, fun trading card thing
Oh,
where I
that's
did like a
cool.
little trading card set, and I had little mini comics on the. I should have them around here. I'm an idiot, but
You're
I
fine.
did that as well.
I don't know how to run a stream. You don't know how to bring up cards. It's fine. Or you
Yeah, yeah. I did a big cleanup here about a month ago, and I got rid of so much
Never.
stuff and put things away.
Never, ever, ever clean up. It's you set it down, and it's always in that spot that you set it down,
Yeah,
and
but
you
the
know
problem
where it
is,
is.
things were building up, and it was
Oh.
too much stuff everywhere. But for the last couple of months, I've been promoting another book, which I am in the process of finishing, which is the latest book, which is the one I actually hired an artist to work on. It's called Fractured Mind, and yeah, I'm finishing the colors on that, and I've been. I put this out on X when I used to have an X. The writing in this book, I think, is the best writing I've ever done. Because these things are like you get better with them, just like in art.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I really think I'm firing on all cylinders on this one. I've got a meeting with my editor this weekend, and we're going to go through some of it. But I'm just feel really, really good about how it's come out, and super positive for the series going forward. And yeah, I really couldn't be happy with how things are all panning out. People are loving it. They, because I got my own site, they can leave reviews on the site, and I read them, and they give amazing reviews and everything. So yeah, what's not to be happy about?
That's awesome. I want to go find reviews now. I want to find negative reviews.
That people have put like I think the lowest is like a 3 out of 5. Like, oh, I like this, but I didn't like that. But most people have been super positive on their feedback.
38
with the series so far.
Here. Okay, let's go. The lowest on that is a 4-star. Okay, most people are very, very happy with this one. Most people are.
Yeah, I tell you, hearing people give feedback when you sink, years of your life into this thing and all your, passion and care into something, and then people write, really nice things about how they enjoyed it and what they liked about it and stuff. It really is. That's like the moment where you go, hell yeah, it was all worth it.
All right, so lowest rating on this one, and they're 4 stars.
I'm happy with that, and I haven't not deleted any reviews. No one's given me any, ones or anything yet.
Intriguing premise, painstakingly detailed drawings, engaging writing, and an evocative color palette combined in Walking Dream to give us one of the best debut books in the comic scene, indie or otherwise. Mr. Bancroft has presented his world.
The COC cock is our tongue-in-cheek little meme to shorten the word creator-owned comic. Now, some people interpret that in some sort of innuendo. I don't know why, but it seems to have taken on
a
life of its own.
And I'm glad to see it stands firmly. There it is. You heard it here. Michael Bancroft's cock stands very firm. That's what this review says. With other gorgeous, solid cocks. Oh, it's getting better.
We're all.
Why is this 4 stars? Why is this a 4-star? Really looking to reading painted.
Really?
Why is it? Why does this not deserve? I'm gonna review this review, and I'm gonna tell you, you can't leave a review like that and only give 4 stars. What the fuck?
Mate, just leaving room for a bit of improvement,
All right, fine. You can be reasonable. I refuse. Oh man, I love your audience, dude. They're so fun.
They are. I know. I'm really happy that I just sort of stuck with my guns and said, you know what, I'm just going to do YouTube my way. I'm going to do my comics my way, because I friggin' love my crowd, the audience. They come out every day, and it is a lot of fun. And they kind of get me. Like, they understood the cock thing straight away, and they were for it.
That's great.
You know, and when that went viral out on Twitter, everyone was like, "Oh, what is this? Who are these degenerates?" And like, we're just having fun. Just like, it's not serious, you know. We don't have to everything. Not everything has to be this great serious battle.
Do people not understand the art of the dick joke?
That's what. Clearly not.
Like,
yeah, people are like, you're never gonna grow if you keep calling things cocks. I'm like, that's fine. I'm
mean,
just chatting with my audience, just hanging out, you know.
And that's where you look at them and like, you'd be like, you know what? Cocks grow, so I figure if we talk about them, I might grow too. You gotta be.
Hey, cocks come in all different shapes and sizes. All right, so just embrace that. slap it on the table.
Is that right? Right.
You know,
no,
it's what you're working with.
That's fucking hilarious, man. I love it, dude. I'm glad to see that you've got more books coming out. You haven't stopped at all. I took a break for a while because I had to figure out. I've said this a couple of times. I didn't not have time to stream, but when I was streaming was at the wrong time, so that was causing like time management issues on my end. So I had to figure that out, which is why I'm doing Mondays and Thursdays now. So that's just the quick explanation. But dude, I'm glad to see that you are still going for it. Your writing is getting better. You're still streaming. That's all fucking awesome to see. You're banned on Twitter because you're a bot. Well, I mean, you know,
too much promotion, right? Not angry enough. Not
angry enough, right? Not angry enough, right?
Like, who is this even killed? Bland. Right. This must be a bot. This must be programmed.
Yeah. You have to be a bot. No, well, no, because if you were a bot, you would turn into like, you know, bot Hitler in like 24 hours.
You know what the funny thing is? People have asked Grok, myself included, what's the deal with this suspension? And Grok says, oh, yeah, there's no reason for Bancroft to be suspended. He's definitely a real person. This doesn't make any sense. And they're like, you're the AI from X. What's going on? It's like, yeah, but I don't deal with that stuff. Whatever.
Even Grok's just like,
the AIs are having arguments. Yeah.
Right. That's funny.
It's also, there's a comedic irony in that I was deemed a bot by an AI when I'm a human and it's a bot.
Yeah. That's funny. I was never a vegan for a little bit. I never was a vegan for a little bit. That's a lie.
How could he be? Is a smoker and she's got two bloody meat smokers?
No, years ago I was having a lot of stomach issues, like the not fun kind of stomach issues. Like the coming up out of both end kind of stomach issues, like very frequently.
Yeah.
So in order to fix all of that, I went because I didn't know what was making me sick. So I went back to basics. I ate a vegetarian diet for 3 months and slowly started adding different foods back into my diet to figure out what it was. I like eggs, potatoes, and avocados fucking saved my life back then, dude. Like eggs, potatoes, avocados were a huge portion of my diet. And then I slowly started adding stuff back in and testing things to see if, and I figured out highly processed food makes me sick.
Who would have imagined?
Who would have thought that all the crap that they add into your food in the supermarket?
It's crazy in the States.
Oh,
it is crazy. It's not that bad. It's not as bad here, but it's still not great. But in the States, it is nuts.
No,
so I hope they can fix that for you guys, because
I would very much like them to do something, but you know, and so yeah, I still like they're like certain like. If I go out and I kill the animal myself and harvest it myself and all that stuff and process it myself, or know people who can do that for me, and it goes from being dead to being in my freezer within 24 hours or however long it takes to process, which is usually not that long, I can eat it. I can't eat store-bought bacon.
Wow.
I will puke.
Yeah.
It's
all
bad.
The preservatives and
dude,
whatever they put in there.
It's the processing houses. It's not even actually the farms. The farms are most meat farms in the U.S. are actually raising ethically raised meat and stuff like that. Could potentially be a lot of the vaccinations that they're putting into them because we're not sure
Mm-hmm.
how some of those work. But a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
farms are very good. But a lot of the processing that goes into this, dude, when you start finding out that they acid wash the meat to kill bacteria, and then they add like flavored shit back into it to like its artificial flavor, it's artificial meat flavoring in the meat that they just acid washed. They got rid of all the flavor of the meat. And you're just like, what the fuck are we doing?
It makes you wonder how the hell did we get here? You know?
It's a very good. I mean, profits over people, right? We're corporatist. We're so corporate. We're not even capitalist anymore. Capitalism is the honest exchange of goods and services. We don't have an honest exchange of goods and services anymore.
No,
And
no.
but I don't need to go down. I don't need to go down that road. Well, sir, you've been on with me for almost an hour at this point. And usually I do about an hour or so with our guests now because I'm old. But I do want to
I'm a
ask
lot
you.
older than you, so
Oh, I
you
know.
know.
I know. I don't look old though,
I
so I'm
see the
okay with that. I don't look old
gray in the
yet.
beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look young and sprightly.
I know, and I'm 34.
You
How
keep
old are you?
saying that like, oh, I'm 34. I'm 45. So
That's awesome. Dude, you've aged well. You sir have aged like a damn good glass of whiskey, I'll tell you that.
well, I've also been watching what I eat for the last couple of years now, and
It's huge.
I lost I'm thinking in pounds, probably like 50 pounds,
No
something like
shit.
that.
You can
Yeah,
go, I mean, you can say you can
it's
go
like
and
22 kilograms
okay,
um
yeah.
that I lost.
Yeah, so
Uh
that's in and
just
around.
Yeah, just from doing like intermittent fasting and just not eating so much like a friggin' slob, you know?
How are you on the sugars?
I don't really eat that
See,
much sugar anyway.
me
It's
either.
not really
Yeah.
I was
I
never
lost my
really.
I oh no, I used to be bad.
Yeah, my wife is like that.
Oh,
She's
dude.
French though, so you know they love
Well,
their sugar.
oh, dude, I used all of the sugar, and then over the course of a year, I actually just my taste buds changed. I lost my taste for it. It's just gross now.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, because my family has a family history of like diabetes,
Mm.
so I still have my vices. I still have my beer, but like my fuck, I eat pretty good outside of that. But you know what? So if beer is my one bag thing that I can't tell you the last time I had a soda. You know, I guess I found energy drinks that are supposed to be non-sugar. They have sucralose in them, but that's a whole nother thing. You can't get away from it. They got to put all these artificial
Yeah,
flavors.
the thought of drinking like a full sugar
Ugh.
Coke just gives me a headache.
Oh, dude, I couldn't do it.
That would hurt. That would be actually painful.
I
But it's
couldn't
the
do it.
same with like really, you know,
I,
like chocolate, bars and stuff, everything like that. Like, I think you get to a certain age. Like, there's a reason why old people have their own sort of
yeah.
confectionery. You know.
I take it back. A few months ago, it was just one of those nights, and it was a weekend night, and I was like, man, I'm just in a hankering for like a rum and coke. So that was probably the most soda that I had when it was diluted with alcohol. But that was
Rum
probably
and Coke. I don't think I've had one of them in 20 years.
right. Oh, I'm not as good as you. Okay.
I will drink. I will drink my scotch though. Rarely,
Ooh.
sometimes, but I just drink it neat. I don't
No,
want to mix it.
I do like if I could afford good scotch, I would. Well, here's my problem. I actually don't like to keep a lot of hard alcohol in the house because if we buy any like rum, we buy the small bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I tell everybody: I don't drink hard alcohol because I drink hard alcohol like I drink beer, 12 ounces at a time,
Ooh,
and that is a very different result.
That's not good.
No, and I can sit there and I can drink my cheap Busch Light redneck beer all day if I have to while I'm running the barbecuer, while I'm running the smoker. And not get drunk. And that's what I want. I don't care. I hate the feeling of being drunk. Not only that, I've got 4 kids. My kids don't need to see their father being drunk. They don't need to see that. So, but that's where well, Michael, dude, it's been so good chatting with you. What
Yeah, it's
else you
been
got to say?
great.
Where can we find you? Not on Twitter. Where can we find you?
Not on Twitter anymore. Yeah, I guess just that my YouTube channel is the best place. Michael Bancroft. And I do have an Instagram account, although I don't really use it that much. I think it's the Lucent Comic as well. Hopefully, the ruling bots at X will one day figure out that I am a real person, but who knows? You know,
You are from Upside Down World, so that is up for debate. So, I'm just
back my comics. Yeah.
Guys, make sure you guys can go and back Botcroft, because Botcroft is awesome and we love him. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to stall so I can actually go, because I did.
Oh, and also, yeah, you posted my link to my website, thelucentcomic.com. That's where you can find all my stuff. So yeah, there's plenty of stuff up there now. It's cool. As you go, you build that catalog out. I got t-shirts, I got books, I got trading cards, I've got what else have I got? I got a puzzle on there still.
It's looking really good, man. It's looking fucking awesome.
Cheers, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to A Drink with Crazy with Michael Bancroft. I gotta get you back one of these days. I want to get you. You know what? One of these days we'll get you back. We'll just have a full-on serious conversation. We'll just do it.
I'll be down for that.
Just to see how the wind blows on that one, because I did want you to advertise what you've been doing, and I feel bad about kind of ending the conversation that we had going. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
It is how it is, though. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Eric Grant, Mario Trujillo, appreciate you guys. We got Bats. Bats was here for a little bit. Eric Wag as well. Dr. Psychonomics, what's going on? Trying to say bye to everybody that I missed. Dr. Masks Retro Elixir. Parenting ain't easy. No, it ain't. That's for damn sure. That is for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into A Drink with Crazy, and as always, until next time, cheers, everybody.